Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with a video about Cambridge University and its myths and perceptions. I just thought it important to just kind of clear up some of the clouded perceptions people have about Cambridge, because it does really weigh into their decision making as to whether or not to apply to Cambridge. And I think that these things shouldn't be hurdles to people applying to Cambridge at all. You should be able to feel that you can apply despite all of these things, and that's why I'm here to myth bust, to say no, despite these things you can and should still apply. I am aware that it will address very delicate subject, but bear in mind this is like kind of going off of my experiences during first year, so I haven't been here for the whole 3 years, so some of the things may change over the course of time, but these are kind of formulated from what I've experienced so far and what others have experienced so far too. I'll be addressing various things about Cambridge life to varying degrees of seriousness as well. Some will be kind of jokey, but some will be quite serious topics. The first myth I will be addressing is, oh, you have to have all A stars and A's to be able to get into an institution like Cambridge, which is not true. The average Cambridge student actually has 5 or 6 A stars at GCSE. I know plenty of people that fell below that threshold and that don't have all A stars and A's at GCSE, and that's really not what it's about, because just as much as anyone that has all A stars and A's at GCSE cannot get in, anyone that doesn't have all A stars and A's at GCSE can get in. It's as much as your chance as anybody's, because what Cambridge focus on is your upward trajectory. They want to see that you're progressing. They don't necessarily, like, it's nice if you are, but it doesn't necessarily matter about you having a perfect academic record. They want to see that they can have someone that they can bring into this institution and work with and help to progress and help to hopefully get to that first class. So that's what they're working with. So for example, me, my GCSEs average, so 5 A stars, 2 A's, 4 B's and a C, then AS, A, B, then A2, 3 A stars. So for the admissions, for the people that let me in, the admissions or whatever, they would have been seeing, okay, maybe not the strongest GCSEs, but wait a minute, she's progressing and she's going that way instead of that way, and that's what Cambridge want to see you do. They want to see you go that way, and if you can show that you have that academic potential, that's what they care about, academic potential, then you'll be fine. Another big myth is that some people feel that they won't fit in. Honey, this is university. There are a lot of people in university to not be able to find a space where you fit in. I think that it is about joining societies in Freshers Week, to be in groups with people that you have similar interests with. That can help a lot in terms of fitting in. And as well, as a BME girl, some of the spaces that I liked were Fly, which is a group for BME girls, and we kind of had weekly discussion. There are also societies, or some of the societies I'm in or have interacted with are Hip Hop Soc, Trinity Femme Soc, which is really, really good. And I just want to give a special shout out to ISOC and PACSOC, because again, that's just to let you guys know that there are societies that cater to minority groups, and you will be able to find people or spaces where you fit in. It's just about remembering that universities are big places. So for you to say, oh, I can't apply to Cambridge because I won't fit in, no, you will fit in, and you will find a space in which you fit in. And just remember that by joining societies, that's one of the best ways to do so. For example, I'm a very active member of ACS, as you've seen in my snaps and on Insta. So if you want to see the behind the scenes of that, follow me on Snap and Insta. The next one is a pressing issue, especially in relation to Cambridge, because a lot of older students back in school, like when you're in year 13 and they're in first year, will tell you that
chill, first year of uni, First year of uni is calm. First year of uni is chilling. First year of uni.
No, it's not, and that is a myth. Especially in terms of coming to Oxbridge, you need to know that is a myth. Be ready and be prepared. If they send you reading lists, do them. If they send you work, try to do it to the best of your ability. Just know that you need to be very, very prepared for the lifestyle here, which can be very intense. And had I been prepared, it wouldn't have been that intense. So take that first year is chilling myth out of your head, because it isn't, and you can stress yourself out if you are too lax in approaching this environment. But I have spoken about that in my being at Cambridge summary videos, so you can watch those to find out more about that.
I didn't go to private school or a good grammar school, so I can't apply to Cambridge.
Look, yeah, Cambridge isn't reserved for these posh kids or educationally advantaged pupils. I went to a state comprehensive school. I know other people who've went to state comprehensive schools, grammar schools, very good grammar schools, private schools, public schools, the whole lot. Cambridge is reserved for anyone and everyone who has a passion for their degree. A huge perception that if you come to an environment like this, which is what majorly put me off after I got my results. If you've watched my other videos, you know I wasn't happy or like excited after results day, just because of the sheer prospect that I thought, wait a minute, this is Cambridge University, I'm gonna go there. And I know it sounds really ignorant or like closed-minded now, but I thought I'd come here, be like this ethnic minority that just comes from a completely different cultural and social background to everyone else, and I wouldn't be able to find people to genuinely talk to and engage with. It'd be a perception perpetuated by the media or some narratives, and I wish I had just kind of known that it isn't like that. Cambridge isn't like that. If anything, I've met more like people like me than like posh. Your posh rhymes with licks, basically. I really wish, like, going into this, that I didn't have that perception of Cambridge, because it did make coming here difficult when I really didn't need to think like that. That obviously is situational and will depend on your college and its environment. So at Homerton, that's what I feel like, literally very comfortable in this environment, but it can differ from college to college, which I'll touch on in a later myth. So I just want to disclaim this section by saying, obviously as a BME Cambridge vlogger, this will be framed around my experiences and informed by others. So this is my experiences, what I have experienced so far. I am not speaking for everybody, and I'm not speaking for anybody else. You need to be careful in addressing a topic that is not monolithic in terms of the BME experience at Cambridge. Very important and serious perception that I want to address, and that is that somehow Cambridge isn't for people of colour or BME people or people like me. And I remember speaking to some girls, and after I was done talking to them, I was like, oh yeah guys, so are you gonna apply to Cambridge? Apply to Cambridge. And then they said no. And one of them basically alluded to the fact that, like, people, it won't be an environment for her because of her skin colour, because she's black. And I was actually shocked, because a lot of people have this perception, and I think perhaps I didn't have these perceptions before applying because I just didn't care. It was more of like, even if it's not for me, I'm going anyway. But a lot of people have this perception, and it kind of stops them from applying or stops them from looking into application. Like, race and racism, especially at an institution like this, play a very big role to people in terms of whether or not they are going to apply. What we have to understand is that the race issue isn't unique to Oxbridge. We've seen it in the trends at DMU, at Exeter, at Nottingham Trent, and previously at Warwick with the banana incident. We've seen racist incidents at multiple unis across the UK. Especially when it comes to Oxbridge, the media really do zone in on Oxbridge. And for example, it took the students getting social media attention for the unis to address those issues at those respective unis. So I think, like Ibsmo said, Cambridge is very aware that they have a race racial kind of issue, so they try to address it more overtly because it is being watched and there is like very large commentary on it in the media. I think it's literally a nationwide uni, this whole racial kind of, there needs to be some kind of racial policy at every single university, and I think that this discourse needs to happen at every single university and not just honed into Oxbridge or specifically Cambridge. So what about race at Cambridge specifically? Me personally, and this is taking into account my environment, I feel like that I've encountered people that are more naive than ignorant, in that they haven't really been around black people where they come from, so they come to an institution like this, and for some people you will be the first black people that they interact with. No, that doesn't give them a pass to say ignorant things, but sometimes people can say naive things, and it's just up to you to just correct them and to kind of just learn. They'll learn from it and then you move on from there, kind of thing. I've never kind of encountered so much overt racism, but I have encountered microaggressions, I guess, which I'll touch on in a second. But I know other people that have maybe experienced more overt racism or ignorance. And my experience is so far, because things could change in the next 2 years. So I found my experiences so far more so pinpricks and microaggressions. I remember being asked by someone, this is just one example, but I remember being asked by someone,
wait, do you go to Cambridge, like the real Cambridge, or Anglia Ruskin?
Because I said to them, oh, I go to Cambridge, and they had to like verify that I go to the Cambridge, or it is what it is. Definitely believe that this issue varies from college to college, and I know that there is no centralized university system that deals with racial incidents, and racial incidents are just dealt with in colleges, so that can make them a bit more difficult to come to light and a bit more difficult for the people that perpetrate these things to kind of be punished for them. Homerton, I am aware that it is literally a dramatically different experience to some of my other friends at other colleges, as in when we're speaking about racial incidents or whatever, I will literally be there dumbfounded, because I'm like, I will never interact with this or never expect to interact with this at Homerton. So I feel like, and I say to them, it's like we're in two completely different Cambridges. So it really is from college to college, which I'll touch on the college aspect in my last point. It's important to mention that for some people, they'll go through this whole Cambridge experience wherever they are as an ethnic minority and be fine and find that there are no issues and find that their time here is fine. And yeah, I think it's just important to be conscious that I'm not speaking for a whole race or a whole group of people. There are people that don't have any negative experiences here, but it is about acknowledging that there are very many people that do have many negative experiences here. So it's about remembering that the Cambridge people of colour BME experience isn't monolithic, and it can vary from person to person, and some people may find it easier to adjust or may never encounter anything, and some people may not find it easy to adjust and may encounter a lot of things. The sentiment that most of us share about race is basically in this tweet that I'm going to read. It was tweeted after one of the racist incidents at another uni took place, and I'll leave that out of the Twitter account here, but it said that identifying overt racism in a university is the easy task. Highlighting and dealing with the microaggressions, the racial bias, and the covert racism is harder. And it really is, because it's things like that that can just make your university experience uncomfortable. And I really think that unis across the UK need to do better at addressing those things. Even this university needs to do better at addressing microaggressions, attainment gaps, admissions statistics. So all those things definitely need to be addressed on a uni level. Is Cambridge diverse? No. But do you find people that you feel comfortable with and that you can relate to? Definitely, which is what someone I asked in ACS about this whole is Cambridge diverse debate about, and that was what their response was. The conversation needs to be opened up a lot more. So you'll see in one of my vlogs previously that I went to a talk called Can a White Person Ever Be can a white person ever call a BME person privileged? And it was just so nice to see so many people from so many different ethnic groups come together to have these open conversations. So I think definitely things like that need to take place more often, so we can have these conversations and then together try to think about solutions for them. Race isn't an experience that you can sweep everything with the same brush, because it really is different for every single person. So please, it just breaks my heart that that aspect could deter someone from applying, and it really shouldn't, because it really doesn't matter. Because like I said in the fitting in one, that you will find a group of people with whom you can fit in and with who you can share your uni experience with, and people that you can trust. So definitely don't be put off by the race aspect, please.
Apply to any college, it doesn't matter.
If you're considering doing an open application, or if you are unsure as to what college to apply to, so you're just going to apply to anyone, no, don't do it. Save yourself. Apply to any college, it doesn't matter, is actually a big myth. And I think I know someone that did an open application and has gone to like such a crusty college, and they're so upset about it. I would definitely invest in some time into looking at what college to apply to specifically. In reference to all the things I've covered before, your life here and your time here and in your experience here can really be dependent on your college and the college environment that you're in, uni environment, the teaching staff, and their specific disciplines. It's also important when it comes to rent. Think about literally living environment. So some colleges, you don't have facilities to cook in at all, and it's all catered, but some it's catered and self-catered, which is what Homerton is. Some it's all self-catered. I'm not sure if you have a college that's all self-catered, but those are definitely things to look into, because that can impact your finances and literally impact how you live that uni life. It's just about, I know people with completely different accounts of Cambridge and like literally have a completely different version of Cambridge than I do. You will meet just such a diverse range of people here, so there's nothing to worry about and nothing to put you off. So hopefully by doing this video, by doing this Mythbuster video, you've had some of your perceptions of Cambridge cleared up if they were making you feel a bit iffy about applying or even looking into applying. So hopefully this definitely has encouraged you to maybe consider it, because it's just one option out of 5, and why not go for it? And like I said in my other videos, you should watch them, because I said one of the best things I could have done for myself during A-levels was go through that application process, because that application process taught me so much about myself and my subject, and it was one of the best experiences that I ever had. Even in that, if I didn't get in, I would have learned so much anyway. So it's just about, if you know you've got the potential to do it and you have the might and strength to get through this Cambridge life, because again, it is important to address that this life is different. So if you think you can do it, then why not, and give yourself that chance. I hope that was useful. If you have any other questions that you want to ask, feel free to email me if they're more like personal or serious, but you can just comment down below. And yeah, another disclaimer, just to make it perfectly clear, this is based on my experiences of Cambridge so far, near the end of my first year here. So they are in no way representative of how everyone else feels or how anyone else feels. This is just me relaying to you guys from the outside, from having been the outside looking in and now being in the inside looking out, and how people see this place. I really thought it would be nice to shed light on some of these things with you, because I know a lot of the stuff is what puts people off applying. So yes, I hope that was useful. As usual, social media in the description below, check that out, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys later, and hopefully I'll remain consistent. Yeah, so bye.